So thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
The podcast is going to be called The Artist's Life.
All right. All
So
right.
basically, what I want to do with the podcast, and for everyone listening, is I want to do something really more personal and get artists, like not only tattooers, but like artists, whether they're like photographers or painters or anything related to art, and just get those people on here and just kind of like get a little bit of their background and hear where they're coming from as far as like what got them where they got, where they're at, where do they plan on going, and just kind of like even some just bullshit stories like along the way. But
Yeah, man.
yeah, no, I appreciate it. So I'm on right now with Angel Reynosa. Angel's been tattooing for about 11 years, you said?
I'm around there, yeah.
Yeah.
10, 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And where are you from right now? Where did you come from originally when you started tattooing?
Originally from El Paso, Texas.
Yeah.
And now I'm living here in San Diego. Been here about 5, 6 years already.
What was it that made you get that jump? I know you told me when last time we hung out, but I can't remember. You moved because of something, right? Like it was tattoo related, kind of.
It was tattoo related, but also I've always had a family out here, so would come and visit a lot. And it was my grandma. She used to live out here. I come and visit a lot, and San Diego was fucking beautiful. So I always made it a thing like I want to move out here.
Yeah.
And then yeah, pretty much I always had that drive to come out here, and then just the opportunity came up with Full Circle, and then I got invited to come out and guest spot and all that.
Yeah.
And then I got the offer to come out and actually work for Bill Canales. And then yeah, I took up that offer, and I just stayed here ever since.
And that was your first offer in San Diego?
Yeah.
That's like a good offer, right? Because that's like Bill was one of the main.
So I was already like jumping around trying to figure out how to come out here.
Yeah.
And there was a shop called Nitty's.
I'm not familiar with it. Yeah.
It was like at the time, Nitty's was like the black and gray, like
The spot.
the spot,
Yeah.
the black and gray spot,
Yeah.
like lettering, smooth black and gray.
Yeah.
Big Checho and all them.
Just
are
like the
there,
Chicano feel,
Yeah,
yeah,
the whole
yeah.
Chicano thing.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I gotta be there because it's
Yes, because Chicanos. Yeah.
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 But then I made the choice. Well, then Bill found out that I was trying to come out here,
Yeah.
and then so he threw out the offer, and then Nitty's as well did too. So then I was like, kind of like, which way should I go,
Yeah. What pushed you over?
But I think what pushed me was Bill being from El Paso, Texas.
Oh, is he?
Bill. So in that shop, Full Circle, there was about like 4 or 5 of us from El Paso, Texas.
Yeah.
So I think it just made sense. I'm like, I gotta go with
With
home
family.
team.
Yeah, the home team. Yeah. No, that's dope. And then Bill's just like Bill got his shit together too, right?
Yeah,
like,
Bill's. Yeah.
I would like to get Bill on here. Like, I thought about that because like, maybe I don't know. Like, the one thing about tattooing is everyone knows someone very well, but doesn't know everyone. So it's like some people will know exactly who you are, right? And they'll like listen to the podcast because of it, or maybe they're just curious. But some people have never heard of you, but like know exactly who Bill is and everything about him. Like it's so vast and so small at the same time. The tattoo community is like everyone knows each other, and at the same time, like you can be another famous artist, and like no one, that person will never have heard of you. That's also another famous artist, just because it's not in the same realm,
Exactly.
So like that's what I noticed, like amongst like illustrator guys, like they have no idea who the high end black and gray guys are, and then vice versa. There's the ones that like slip through the cracks and everyone knows, like Nico. Everyone everyone knows Nico. Jeff Gogwe. I think most people know Jeff Gogwe. But yeah, there's definitely like a lot of really amazing tattooers of like one type of style that other tattooers that are amazing will never have heard of. So
Yeah, man.
it'd be nice to get Bill in here just because he's like an OG and and hear what he's done, and it'd probably be trippy to have him in here too.
It'd be good, man. I mean, Bill's very. I mean, I owe a lot. I mean, how do I say it? He I learned a lot from him, and he. I mean, it was surprising going to that shop because he was Japanese illustrator, traditional stuff like that. And a black and gray realism artist going into that shop, it was like, people were like, why are you going there,
Yeah.
But he was just a great artist, a great person.
Yeah.
And then business-wise of it, there's a whole shop, how he runs it.
It's very efficient, huh?
Very
like,
efficient.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from working there.
It's like he seems like one of those people, when you're around someone that just got their shit together, like, and you just know it just being around them, you know what I mean? Like in the sense of like their business and stuff like that. So um, I mean, like that's the vibe that I got whenever I met him or whatever. It was just like,
Yeah, man.
dude just seems on it. But no, that's dope. So that got you out to San Diego, and then from there you were, just going back and forth because you've been going back and forth nonstop from El Paso to San
Yeah,
Diego,
I
right?
always go back and forth. Always. Ever since I moved out here, I go back every. At first, it was a little hard to go back, like so often, cause like money wise and stuff, you know.
Yeah,
I was just starting up out here, and to go back and forth like
yeah.
that was, crazy. But
Were you
now
driving at first, or
I
were
would
you?
drive at
Oh
first.
shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was crazy. I would take like Greyhounds and shit like that out
Yeah,
here to come and guest spot.
yeah,
Cause Bill would be like, out of nowhere, Bill was like, "Hey, come guest spot." I'm like, oh shit, I can't just take a flight like that. We didn't have money. I didn't have money like that. And so I would either just rent a car or use my mom's car to come out here, or just take a Greyhound bus. Fuck, it was a mission sometimes.
yeah. For anyone that's listening that hasn't taken a Greyhound, it's ghetto as fuck. Like it's
And
super
even at
ghetto.
that, I'm putting it at a night. Greyhound sounds good, but there was the the limousines. That was the brand, the company name,
No,
limousines, Los Angeles limousines or some shit like
no, I
that. And
never
it
heard
was
of
like
it.
some janky
Yeah,
ass
yeah.
like Greyhound buses.
Yeah, that's rad. I know when I started, and I'm sure you did the same thing, where it's like you just kind of get whatever walks in the door, and you just try to get good at everything that you can to move towards something eventually. But for me, when I first started tattooing, which is crazy, not even when I first started tattooing, but when I first started wanting to get into tattooing, like I really wanted to do illustrative stuff. I really liked illustrative stuff. I love like just man, there's so many artists like Justin Hartman and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
I love their stuff. And when I apprenticed under Alex Garcia, and he like just did some amazing black and gray at the time. Like he was just killing it, and I don't think it was that I became a black and gray artist because Alex was a black and gray artist. I think I became a black and gray artist because I saw what was possible with black and gray
Yeah.
when I saw someone like Alex, and I knew that it was hard. And like because I knew it was hard, I was like I want to get good at it, because
Yeah.
I like challenging myself like that.
Yeah, you would think portrait's like, oh shit, that's the hardest
Yeah,
thing that you
I
can
mean
do.
that's what they
Yeah,
say.
exactly. Yeah.
So I didn't know at first, but eventually I made that transfer over to be like, yeah, I want to do black and gray. Did you know right from the get go that you want to do black and gray?
I think for the most part, yes. Only because of growing up seeing the Chicano style tattooing and stuff like that, very like soft black and gray portraits, lettering.
Yeah,
That always drew my attention. I always got like inspired by stuff like that. Seeing it like on my uncles and stuff like that, and the whole Chicano stuff.
yeah, yeah. I grew up with garage tats and
Exactly, yeah.
yeah, right.
And I thought it just looked, at the time being little, I was like, that
Yeah,
looks
it's
cool.
just
You know
dope,
what I mean?
right?
It's
Yeah.
dope.
Fucking ask the calendars and everything.
Exactly,
Yeah,
So I was like, I kind of want to lean it. I started towards like lettering, a bunch of lettering, old English stuff like that, script, and then eventually, I went into the realism, black and gray realism.
yeah. For me, I had that same shit. Like I had it where it was all around me. Like
Yeah.
Chicanos. Like my first tattoos were in people's garages while their lowrider were parked like out in the
Yeah.
at their mom's house because they always lived with their fucking mom for some reason.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
But and then like there was a guy like shout out to anyone from Imperial Valley there was a guy that was the guy that did tattoo parties and stuff, and everyone was
the
like, oh, you got
tattoo
tattoo
party
party, yeah, and his name was Huicho. And like, of course, it was Huicho or something super like fucking chunty and shit. But like, no, the dude was like known for like Aztec calendars and all the Aztec men and women. But I guess when I saw that, like I was so used to it because I grew up with it that it wasn't new to me, and so it wasn't as exciting to
Okay.
yeah. So when I saw what people like Bob Tyrell were doing, or like Robert Hernandez, or all these dudes that were like, it's no longer fine line black and gray, it's
Yeah, man.
portraiture and portraiture. I think that's what sold me.
Yep.
Because I grew up around the same thing, but for the most part, like maybe I just got numb to it,
Just seeing it, like,
Yeah.
well, because now that you bring them up, like, so the main, it was like Paul Booth
Yeah,
and like Carlos Torres to me,
Yeah.
and seeing that, like, oh, you can do stuff like that, because it's still a bit of like that Chicano stuff, like the black and gray stuff
yeah,
of it, but then like they fucking like made it way better.
yeah. They just went a whole different direction. It just became more about like depth, like
Mhm.
it was different. And the crazy thing is, like, I say that about like I was numb to black and gray, but when you see that really good fine line black and gray, like when you see Mr. Cartoon's work in person, when you see Eric Marcinison's work in person,
dude,
when
that
you
shit's
see
crazy.
Jose Lopez's work in person, you're just like, I thought I knew what it was, but
It's
like
not. Yeah.
it's like some
Yeah.
other.
Because
Yeah,
I don't even do that style of
yeah,
work.
and yeah, no. So that style in itself is its own realm, right? Like
Yeah.
you got all the people
Exactly.
that kill it, and
Exactly. Yeah.
and people that just do it the way they do it. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, for me, it was just like the challenge, and that's the other thing is I think a lot of people. I don't know if you've done any of this, but like a lot of people don't give American traditional like the respect it deserves as far as the challenge of doing it right. And I'm sure even being around Bill, you probably saw a lot of that
Yeah.
Japanese traditional rules and stuff. Like, did you ever try to challenge yourself and try that stuff? Or
I never really stepped into it because I mean, one, I didn't know it, and I don't know. I never really got and
just like it
yeah.
didn't pique your
It
curiosity?
didn't.
Yeah,
No, it
yeah,
didn't really. I mean, it's amazing. Don't get me wrong,
yeah,
but I did learn like flow and like composition
yeah.
and applied it to like my stuff. Does that make sense? So
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, yeah. I think that's the one thing that at least the generation that I grew up in, where you learned everything and then you like got good at one
yeah,
thing, but you still learned everything. Is that a lot of people don't realize a lot of that transfers over within
with
styles.
anything, like I said, a lot of people were telling me, "Why are you going to a shop like that? That's just heavy influence, Japanese and traditional, American traditional, all that heavy influence like that." And there was no one there doing portraits or lettering or black and gray, nothing like that. So, but then I still took everything that I could out of every artist
Yeah,
there. And yeah, I think everyone should still, stick. Well, yeah, respect that. There's a lot that you can learn off of
yeah.
anything, off of any kind of style and anything like that.
Yeah, I think that's the nice thing about, and I kind of miss it, but I do like working the way I work now. But like, it's nice being in a shop where there's a lot of different styles,
Yeah,
because it just sometimes it like pumps you up, sometimes it motivates you. But
I think it's important
yeah,
to be around stuff like that, at least for a little while, just to
yeah,
kind of.
yeah. No, I totally agree. So you've been tattooing for about 11 years now, and you've established your own, like obviously you've established your art. You've been in magazines, right? Have you been in Tattoo Energy or Tattoo
It
Life?
was a tattoo. What was it called? It's like a spin-off, I think, or like
Got it.
on Tattoo Life.
Uh-huh.
It's like a European one, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
something like
It's probably
that.
Tattoo
Tattoo
Energy.
Energy,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Tattoo Energy.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure I've seen you in that one, or in one of those. I'm pretty sure I've seen
yeah.
your work
It
back
was a
then.
while back.
Yeah, that magazine was like where it was at, because for the longest time, that's how you knew who was good. Is like those two magazines, Tattoo Energy and Tattoo Life. They were really the bigger magazines out there. And then you did the guys that do convention circuits and were well known because of the
Yeah.
conventions. Um, where did you find that you made like your biggest imprint as far as like establishing yourself in the industry?
Um.
Like, what was that moment where you were just like, "Fuck!" Like, I'm kind of up there now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say like like that. Um. I think well, after that magazine, of course, and then doing like certain conventions,
Hmm.
certain like tattoo conventions, like the London one. After the London and the Paris one, I was like, oh shit, like I
Oh, you
can't
did you
believe.
did the London
Yeah,
convention?
I did.
Nice.
I did the London convention, and it's weird because
The Tobacco Dock one?
yeah,
Wow, that's
I
awesome.
did the last one.
Yeah, that's
It sucks
amazing.
because it was like the last one, but also like it was cool too because I got to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
But actually, what happened with the magazine is I reached out to Mickey. He's
Hmm.
the one that does
Yeah,
the
Mickey. Yeah, he's
he
also runs Tattoo
he
Energy.
runs
Yeah,
tattoo
yeah,
and all that, and I asked like, hey, what's up? With I'm Angel, whatever. But I had gone like many. I've gone like 2 or 3 years before that, before I actually did the London convention,
yeah,
and I met him. I said hi, whatever, and then finally I was like, hey, can I get a booth, whatever.
yeah,
And submitted all my stuff, and then he says, not this year, but I have this project going with this magazine, and then that's how I got into that magazine.
yeah.
And then after that, I was like, well, I did the magazine. What's up with the booth?
But yeah, that's the thing is like a lot of people don't realize like what you're just saying right now. Like
Yeah.
it seems so natural to you, right? Like it's natural to me. Like to me, it's a hustle. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's
man.
like reaching out to people. It's like it's staying in communication. It's like you tell someone like, oh, check this out, and then like you don't hear from you 3 months
Yeah.
later. You hit them up and like, oh, check this another one out. Like it's just like it's the grind, and I feel like
Yeah.
it's different a little bit now. I think because I think now Instagram, which is a great and a bad thing. It's a bad thing because you can become too reliant on it, but it's a great thing because you can be like someone from nowhere and just go big with one tattoo post or one
Yeah, man.
one.
It's kind of scary, man.
Yeah. What do you think now when it comes to like what you had to do to get to where you're at, like you're, touching base with Mickey, doing the convention circuit, do you think if you wanted to get where you are right now all over again, would you do it the same way in today's climate, like with, Instagram and YouTube and all that, or do you think you take a different route?
Um, I think I think I take a different route,
Yeah.
especially because seeing all the up and coming artists how they're doing it,
Hmm.
and they're being so successful at it,
Yeah.
and they're just blowing up out of nowhere. And but they're putting in work,
Yeah.
They're using what's available to them. That's now
Yeah.
like social media and stuff like that.
So instead of conventions, maybe more like more social media shit,
I
basically.
think so, and
Yeah.
learning stuff like that, how to get on how to manage your social media and stuff like that, and videos and
Just
photography and
quality
stuff like
photos
that,
and stuff
quality
like,
photos and all.
yeah.
Because I'm barely getting up on that,
Yeah.
and that's because I'm trying to catch up to these dudes. You know what I mean, or stay at least like
Relevant.
yeah,
Yeah.
relevant.
Yeah.
Because that's what everything's kind of turning to. I think.
Yeah, I think for me, because we're kind of in the same boat. I've just been in it a little bit longer than you, but like you, I think you got into some big stuff before I ever did. Um, for me, it was hard because I was like really quiet and really introverted. So my hustle came from like grinding and like
Yeah.
touching base, like kind of like what you're saying with Mickey. But like if I started all over again and I was who I was when I started right now, I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't be where I'm at because a lot of it comes nowadays from putting yourself out there. You know what
Of
I mean?
course.
Like
Yeah.
people will hear this podcast or they'll see the YouTube videos and they're like, "Oh, like I was saying earlier, like people will be like, "Oh, you're such a natural at it." But it's like, "Man, I had to work hard to get comfortable, like
Yeah,
to
man.
just chill in front of a camera."
Dude, I'm nervous as hell, but
Yeah.
the same way I'm super shy and to my own.
Yeah.
I've always had a problem with like speech and stuff like that.
I used to stutter, man.
I used to stutter.
Yeah,
I
I
used to
used to have
stutter a
a
lot.
fucking fucked up stutter when I was in junior high. The thing about like hype and like getting good at what you're doing, I think that there's a certain amount of confidence that you need to obtain to really push that boundary. Like meaning like you can be good and not be confident, and no one will ever hear of you. You can be really confident and not good, and you might be like a household name. But when you're good and you learn to be confident, I feel like that's the ultimate thing
Yeah.
there. And like that's a lot of the artists when I was getting into the industry weren't people that wanted to be like listened to or heard. They just wanted to do their work and
They
keep
just
their
wanted
head
to
down.
work. Yeah.
But now it's like you really need to grind, or like you got these kids that are just killing it on the social media aspect, and they'll bury you as far as like people seeing you because they're so busy looking at what's being shoved in their face.
Yep.
So like, do you think that moving forward you're going to change your social media approach, or you think you're just going to keep going the way that you've been?
I've started to change a little bit on it, making more videos, more of the real stuff, and
Yeah.
like then TikTok and all that. Um, and yeah, just trying to get up on that, on the whole Instagram stuff and social media stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's important still, to keep going with what's
With the changes?
yeah, with the changes. I
Yeah.
think with anything, I think you still have to kind of go with the flow, like however whatever's going.
Or you get phased out.
Yeah, or you get phased out, and it's seen, and that's happened, and it's you've seen it with many artists.
Yeah, man. Like I don't want to say any bad names, but the good names I'll say is like people like Freddie Negretti stayed relevant way past way
Yeah,
more
dude,
people
that's
from his generation.
yeah,
The
man.
fact that he was posting, and I think the only reason that
Conventions.
yeah, I think the only reason that if anything it's maybe dimmed down when it comes to him is because he's had such a hard couple years. But
Yeah,
um, but when I see dudes like that are like OGs and are still pushing like the new trends and stuff, I'm like I got a lot of respect for that because
yeah.
it's like
That's how Bill is.
yeah,
I like Bill. I have a lot of respect for him because he's always trying to stay relevant. Always anything he's doing the TikTok stuff, not the TikTok stuff, but the reels and the videos and all that, and staying relevant like that on social media.
yeah. No, I think yeah, I think it'd be cool to get Bill on here. I'm gonna hit him up one of these days once I do a couple more and stuff because
Yeah, man.
he seems like a no nonsense person, so I want to make sure I got everything dialed in. So like we talked about how me and you both got into this and kind of like where you're going with it. What advice would you give someone that's like just starting now? Like if you were who you are right now and you were also you starting now, what advice would you give yourself? Like aside from social media, just more like overall, like just getting into the tattoo industry and the reasons behind it.
Just stay, just work hard and stay motivated, stay inspired, stay hungry. Um, Nowadays, I mean, people want the easy route, and it's still, you still have to work hard regardless of social media or not. Like, you still have to work hard with anything, and that's, I mean, that's what I would give. I mean, just stay consistent, stay persistent. Like, I want to tattoo, I want to do this portrait, I want to do this back piece, and stay like that.
Yeah, no, I think that's such an underappreciated quality, just like consistency. You know what I mean? And honestly, like if I probably struggle with it now because I did so much of it for all of my, like
Yeah.
entire career. Like all I did, like people see now and they're like, oh, you only work like 3 days a week or whatever, and like, oh, like this and that, it must be nice. It's like I had years where I worked like 6 days a week, and not only that, but like I would get there before everyone and leave after everyone. I remember I started kind of like at a American traditional shop was one of my first like big shop that I work at as far as like getting money, and like quality, tattoos around me. And when I first started, they were all, super traditional tratty guys. And if I took more than, an hour on a little pinner or, whatever, it was like, get it in, get it out. Like,
Yeah.
and then God forbid when I started doing portraits, it was like, how are you taking eight hours on a face? And I'm like, that's kind of how it is.
That's
And
how it is. Yeah.
yeah, and I'd get a lot of slack, but we were limited to 6 hour shifts because it was split shifts. At midday, the morning crew would dip, and then the evening crew would come in. And if you weren't done by then, like you had to give up your seat anyways because it was rotating seats.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Damn.
then I started just coming in early, and then I started coming in on my days off, and I started doing stuff like that. And it's like I feel like that's kind of underappreciated. Maybe not to the people that are doing it, but to the people that see their progress. You know.
Yeah, that's important, big time. A lot of people always ask me like, how did you start doing like sleeves, or how did you start doing all these minis, or whatever with anything? And
Yeah.
you have to just, like how you said, go in your days off, go early, stay late. I would do that all the time, back in El Paso, and even at Full Circle too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care how fast or how slow I was.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that probably brings me to the next question that someone asked on Instagram, which is, how do you handle burnout? Because I've gotten to the point once or twice where I got burnt out, where I was just like, not like ready to quit, but I was just like, man, like my back's jacked. Like I can't work. I literally could not work 5 days a week because I came into this industry already with a messed up back, And then on top of that, now I start like working 7 days a week, hunched over, trying to get those crispy lines. And then I hit some points where I kind of burn out. And for me, it took a long time to find that balance of like taking time off,
yeah, man.
being time on. How have you handled burnout when it comes to just, working your ass off?
Just take a freaking just rest. Take a day off. You know what I mean?
Do you not feel like you've had like a gnarly burnout where you're just like kind of like really
There's
like,
always been those little like slumps, like where you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
But I mean, then you think back and like what we do is like not that hard.
Yeah.
It's like the best. Like,
Oh, we're super lucky.
we're super lucky, and then you think back on that and it's like, all right, get back to grind mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take a little day off or rest,
Yeah.
or two, and then go back at it.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I think for me it was just, oh, sorry. For me, I think it was, I couldn't find a balance.
Yeah.
I couldn't find that point where it was like I could just take one day off and be good. Like I would burn myself out, and then I'd take a week off, and then you don't work for a week, you don't get back to clients for a week, then you're a week behind, and just like so on and so on. So I'm still kind of dialing it in right now, and I think I got it dialed in. But like what we were talking about earlier, I feel like now it's more about the evolution. Like what's next?
What's next? Yeah.
So what do you think is next for you now?
Shit, I want to go. I don't know. I mean, there's the balance too of work and
Social life too.
social life and all that. I've been now I'm taking a lot more days off, and trying to understand how to get that balance as well. But I actually want to get another shop going. I won't say any like locate. I want to try to keep it like hush hush still, But I want to get something going, something dope.
That's good. I think I'm still figuring it out, but I feel like it's comforting knowing that everyone's kind of going through the same shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you see someone's feed on Instagram sometimes, and you're just like, fuck, like they got their shit way together more than I do.
Yeah.
Like they're doing more than I am. They're like whatever, and then you just like you kind of put that pressure on you to be like, fuck, should I be doing more? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
It's tough, man. You see it like I see a lot of friends and stuff doing the thing, like having fun and the motorcycle stuff and the car, buying cars, doing just fun stuff, you know. And
yeah,
then barely now is when I'm barely starting to do all that stuff, you know.
yeah,
Um, Now I'm making more time to do like now the motorcycle stuff. I'm trying to write that more and just find like stuff that I want to just do and have fun with, you know, not just all work all the time.
yeah.
But there's a balance, you know. Of course, work the 5 days or 4 days.
Is that what you do? Like 4 or
Yeah,
5
I do
days?
4.
4 days, yeah.
Yeah,
I do 3 to 4. It switches a little bit, but yeah, 3 to 4 usually.
I do 4. But honestly, sometimes you leave that. I leave that extra Monday,
Yeah,
and there's always like that Monday is like 6 months out, 3 months out, and you're like, oh yeah, I'll put you in on that Monday.
yeah,
That Monday comes, it's like a 5 day week, you know? It's
yeah.
like fuck.
I think for me, because I don't know if you do the same thing, but I do multiple passes. I'm sure you've seen that, or
Hmm.
like, or I've told you about it. But what I'll do is if I have 3 heavy days, like 3 full day sessions, then I'll put in 1 half day session for that second pass. You know what I mean? So I try to like spread out the schedule in a way where I know that I have light days coming and they're flexible. Then I'll put them in the filler gaps. So I am working more days, but
Yeah.
I'm not doing full days every day.
Okay, so it's like still like a balance of
Yeah. And
work hard and then kind of chill.
yeah, and it's different because I do my scheduling, I think, different than everyone. Like I do
Yeah.
my schedule by the week.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
you told me about that, I was like, oh shit, that's kind of crazy.
it's
Yeah.
nice, dude. Like I don't regret it at all. And I
I
think
get freaked out like a week
no, I
out,
get it.
you
And
know?
it's not for everyone. And you know what? Like that's the thing is I found that a lot of the things that I think as far as like burnout or getting bored, like not everyone thinks that way. Like you got
Yeah.
dudes like Vito that are just literally fucking hustling
Just
24/7.
grinding,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, and I think he's hit some marks where he kind of needed to take a break too, you
Yeah.
know. I can't speak for him, but you know, there's certain I guess like one revelation that I had in this industry because I worked for Nico Hurtado, right? I worked for him for a little bit and we're like acquaintances. I worked for Norm when he was still around and people like Norm and Nico, man, like they hustle more
Yeah,
than
man.
any other person I've ever met. Like you can say whatever you want to say about anyone that's like that, but like the one thing you can't take away is that they literally hustle harder than
Yeah.
anyone else. And let me rephrase that. Like when it comes to people like Nico and Norm, like they're such unique people, right? Like you get so many different like opinions on them, people that have only met them for a half a
Yeah.
second or whatever, and they form an opinion. But at the end of the day, I've never met any other artists that have hustled harder than either of them. But the other side of that was that I got to see what it takes to be them. And you know, when I first started, Nico was one of my idols, and he still is one of my idols when it comes to tattooing. And I would look at his work, and I'd be like, man, like he was doing stuff way ahead of his time.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where I was like, I want to be like that. Like I want to be the best. Like I want to be the best, and I want to do all the same stuff he's doing. And when I got to work for someone like him, or even like Norm again, I saw what it takes to be them. And then it wasn't about like it's not that I don't want to be the best. It's that I want to be the best while being as happy as I can be. And you can't have both the way that I want to live my life. Cuz to be a Nico or to be a Norm, it's nonstop. Like
Yeah.
they do not stop hustling, man. They literally are always working in one aspect or another. And
It's crazy, man. It's inspiring and stuff like that, but and motivates you. But then at the end of the day, too, I've already accepted like I'm just not like that, you know.
That's what I'm
not.
saying,
I'm not
yeah,
like them,
yeah.
and props to them, man. And
Exactly.
there's a few of those, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And
But I guess that's what I mean is like
Yeah.
when you see it, you make peace with like I will
Exactly.
never be that, but like I'm okay with it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like I'm okay with not being 1.7 million followers deep or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
But I respect the shit out of the hustle. But I think it made me appreciate it, and at the same time, it made me appreciate like the way that I want to live my life. And I think that's one of those things that every artist at some point will hit, where they're like, "What actually makes me happy?" You know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure you've hit that because it seems like you've already started kind of dialing your shit like
Yeah.
back and forth a little
Yeah.
bit. But like, are you pretty content with your career, or do you think that you're just taking a chill and you're just gonna hit it like beast mode again? Like, what do you think you're gonna go with it?
I think I've been kind of chilling for a bit,
Yeah,
and I wanna get back on it.
yeah,
Back and yeah, just want to get back on it and change up a little bit of not my style, but just do something new, something different.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But hit that hard. You know what I mean? 'Cause yeah, I've been kind of kicking it and just chilling and um, doing fun stuff. You
yeah.
know, but yeah, back to work. I think for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're gonna
that's the
hit that
next
point
thing.
where you're
Yeah,
just like back at it. But
yeah.
I'm guessing probably like differently, right?
Differently for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, more efficient, more like not just straight freaking 24/7 now, but more I guess strategically
yeah,
and more.
yeah. I get what you're
You know
saying.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
more like you're making choices before you make the
Exactly, yeah.
moves.
Because
Yeah,
at first you're just like, I just want to be good, and I'm just gonna fucking go
grind.
ham and
Yeah,
shit grind. But now the stuff that we know, now we put it into the right places, and then we go from there.
yeah, yeah. I agree, man. And I think for me, I've been lacking a lot on social media because I've just been happy. Like I've
Yeah,
just been doing so much stuff that you forget. And I think that's a lot of things that people see, like clients and like people that are like fan of your work. Or, they see like all the success and they see the progress, and they're like, man, it must be nice. But like I was just having this conversation because I was doing a workshop for skydiving, and like I've had it where people in that industry will be like, oh, it must be nice to have money. And I'm like, bro, like
I hate that,
you don't
man.
even know, dude. Like you don't know what it took to get this money.
Yeah,
And on top of that, it's like you don't realize that because I work for myself, because I'm here right now, I'm not making money. Like I'm here dedicating time to a craft that I'm passionate about, and that's taking away from my income, from my business, from my other passion. And I feel like people don't see that. People don't see
yeah,
that it isn't all just glamour and glitz, man. You don't work, you don't make money. Like there's
exactly.
no 401ks, not like right out of the box at least.
Yeah, no, yeah,
And there's no like there's no one else to blame. And I think that's something that makes you just such a stronger person. Like have you found that where you like reach to blame for someone when you're having hard times and you're like, well, fuck, it's me.
yeah,
Like
yeah, all the time. I mean, I hate when they say about that whole, oh, it must be nice, and oh, you make so much money, and oh,
yeah,
I wish like,
I'm sure you get it. People see
yeah,
your
all the
motorcycle and
time.
they're like, oh,
Exactly,
yeah.
yeah. But I worked hard for my stuff,
Especially peeps probably back from fucking your neighborhood and shit. Probably
You know what I
like,
mean?
yeah,
Yeah, they'll be like, oh, this, and that, and you're just throwing money like that, and I'm like, well, I can because I want to, and
yeah,
I worked hard for that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But I mean, everyone's different. I mean, that's them. I
yeah.
pay no mind, like whatever.
I think the thing that was interesting for me when we're talking about people's perspectives and just kind of like the shit that we deal with, right? Like yeah, the shit everyone deals with, not just
Yeah.
us. We're not like victims. We're not special. Like everyone deals with this is trying to like do something with himself, right? But I used to be really timid. I used to be really quiet, bro. Like really like just not confident.
Yeah.
Like and that changed a lot when I started doing MMA, when I started working out, when I started just like believing in myself. Like there was a lot that changed there. But it was just funny to me because when I first started, everyone's like, "You need to be more confident. No, you need to hype yourself up more." Like, no, like you, like oh, like you're not giving yourself enough credit. Blah blah blah. The second I started saying anything, that I was like,
Just say, oh, this was fucking.
"Yeah, this motherfucker's cocky."
Yeah, yeah, man.
But
Especially with me going back home.
yeah, yeah,
A
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
That happened a lot. Like, oh, you
Or
think you're,
family
you think too
sometimes too.
good? Like
Yeah,
you in California now and shit. Like,
yeah,
it's not like how y'all think it is.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I would get that, and I think when I got that, that's when I was just like, "Fuck what anyone else
Yeah,
thinks."
yeah.
Like,
Fuck that.
because it's like I'm fucking damned if I do, and I'm damned if I don't. People are like, "Oh, you need to be more confident to say shit." And the second I say anything that sounds like somewhat like overconfident, they're just like, "Oh, you're just cocky and arrogant."
Yeah,
And now I'm just like, I'm very confident with myself. I'm
yeah,
not like trying to like hype myself up ever, but it's like if someone asks me like, "Oh, "Are you good at it?" I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm fucking good at it," because I put 12 years into it.
yeah.
You
You
know what I
put
mean?
work in it. Yeah.
But have you found that you struggle with that at all? Like being confident when it comes to like just like acknowledging what you've accomplished, acknowledging who you are in the industry, and acknowledging the quality of your work. Do you ever feel like maybe you don't give yourself enough credit?
I think so. I mean, I always get it like from everyone, like, oh, you need to, because I'm always like still, I'm always
Quiet,
yeah
yeah,
quiet and stuff, and I'm never the one to be like so loud and out there and like, yeah, I do this and I do that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So people are always like, you gotta be more confident. Come on, like you're better than that. Like you know what I mean?
yeah,
But yeah, there's times where I'm just like, yeah, like I can do this work or I can do that or
yeah.
you know what I mean, and be more confident in that way. Going back home a lot too. At first it was very hard because yeah, going back to the same friends that were not making were that were not in the same
They were,
position.
yeah, they were the where when you left there in the same
Exactly,
place. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And then trying to adjust or trying to get back into that
Mindset.
mindset
Yeah,
on both ends was kind of hard, you know. But I try to like kind of just be more chill and try to understand like, all right, cool, like I know the situation that we're in or whatever,
yeah,
and just play like that. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's hard, man, because like you know where you come from. Like I
Yeah,
know where I come from. I know like when we were like 12 deep into like a 4 bedroom house that we were renting. You know, like that's
yeah,
how it always is. Like or like yeah, like I think my mom was really good at pretending like we had money, but like we didn't. You know,
yeah.
like we get like she went bankrupt and we had repos and shit like that.
Hell
But
yeah.
she had nice shit because of it. You know what I mean? And it was like it made us feel like we weren't as broke. But I think for sure, like sometimes I think some people forget where they come from. I don't think I've ever had that problem.
Mm-mm.
I think other people look at you and they think that you forgot where you came from. But it's definitely interesting, man, because I really don't think enough artists give themselves credit.
There's a
And
bunch, yeah.
yeah, I've even had it, man, for me where it's like, and maybe this is one of the moments I started gaining more confidence. But when I do a tattoo, all I see is what I could do better. Like literally, I finish a tattoo. Literally, bro, I finish a tattoo. Almost every tattoo, I'm just like, oh, next time I can do this better, or next time I
Yeah.
can change this, or next time I can do that. And that's what's gotten me where I'm at. But at the same time, it's what's kept me mentally in the same place as far as like not I don't know I don't know what it would do if I didn't, but I definitely have caught myself sometimes where I'm like running into someone or I'm at a bar and someone like asks about my work or whatever and I'm showing them and I'm like scrolling through my Instagram and I'm like showing them photos and I'm like, oh shit, this is actually kind of good, like but
Yeah.
but then it hits me like fuck, like I am accomplishing something, like I am good at this craft. um and I feel like a lot of artists really struggle with that,
Yeah.
and
What's that word? What's that called? Fuck. It's like a word or a term where you're like your own worst like
critic or
critic,
whatever.
but there's
Yeah,
a word for it. I
yeah.
forgot what it's called though.
I'm not sure which one that is.
There's a word for it, like a term where you just hate everything that you do,
Yeah,
and you see something that you made, and you're just like, oh, it's ugly. I can't even post this shit.
yeah.
Something syndrome.
I'm getting better at it, and
Yeah,
it's funny because you just said it right now that like where you're like I can't post this.
yeah,
I swear to you, dude, like three times the one that I'm like I don't want to post this. I'm not happy on it, and I post it. It goes like viral. Like they're the
yeah.
ones that gets like tens of
I hate when
thousands.
that
Of, like,
happens,
yeah,
man. You're
dude.
just like, I
Like
don't know about this one, and then it just, you know.
yeah, and it takes off.
But I've understood to where we don't have the they don't other people don't have that same eye. Of
Yeah,
course, you know, like obviously they don't have the same look or the same eye on the piece.
yeah.
They're gonna think everything is freaking amazing, you know.
Yeah, they're not picking it apart. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I've had that even with like artists that I really respect, where I like my clients will go get work done by them and the client's like, oh, they were tripping out on your work, like they were saying it was so dope.
That's even crazier.
That hits me hard. I think to me the biggest compliment I've ever had is having other artists hit me up and be like, will you tattoo me?
Get a tattoo, yeah.
Yeah, because I've tattooed a few people. I've tattooed like Brian Ramirez. I've tattooed man, I'm spacing out right now, but like just artists that you respect, like even Fred, Fred Flores, right?
Yeah.
Like yeah, Fred was like talking about having me do his daughter's portrait sometime. Like that type of stuff is just
That's
like
crazy,
yeah,
man. That's dope. Yeah.
it's dope. It's like I don't know. Those are the biggest validations that to me like mean something. A client could tell me all day long how much they love their tattoo, and I'll appreciate it, but
Yeah.
it's like it doesn't validate me in a way where I feel like
I
really
get that.
accomplished.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that for sure.
Is there so like for me, um, huge fan of Vito's work. Huge fan of Vito's work. Just what he does, what he accomplishes. Like I'm very impressed. You know what I mean? My arm, my left arm has got Fred Flores, Alex Garcia, and Bob Tyrell, which I think are the pillars of my work. Like they're the people that I saw when I was coming up, and I modeled my work around them. Who do you have that you kind of just not even just like you respect or idolize, but you literally have modeled some of your work around?
I think it probably had to be AB Alvarez,
Okay.
AB Alvarez, and Calm. AB tattooed me I think twice
Yeah.
or three times already,
Yeah.
and I do a lot of the liner stuff,
Nice. Okay.
and AB does as well. And I went and got tattooed and actually wanted to learn as well, and of course get a piece from someone that
Respect.
I
Yeah.
respected and admired his work. It's freaking smooth. It's crazy how he works.
Is it Calm One? Is that the name?
Calm, yeah, Calm One.
Okay. Cool.
He does lettering.
Okay. I've
Yeah.
seen that one.
When I was first doing the lettering is when I was like inspired by like stuff like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I remember you had some lettering on like some chess pieces and stuff like that. I think I remember some of those. What about just people that like you idolize group? Like, for me, Bob Tyrell was just one of the dudes that I looked up to forever. Did you have anyone like that you just really looked at when you were first starting and that was like setting the bar?
I think it was like Carlos Torres.
Yeah.
Yeah, only because of the just how everything flowed and the composition of things and stuff like that.
I haven't met him. I'm surprised because like I've met Nico, I've met all the dudes like around him and stuff, but I haven't met him. The crazy thing is, I just got sponsored by Inkies, and he's the guy that signs you off on it.
Oh no shit!
So like Bishop put it together where they showed him my work, and he was like, "Yeah, good to go." And
That's
I was
dope,
like,
man.
"I haven't met him, but he's seen my work, so it's like
that's dope. Bro.
that's dope, right?
Congrats,
Like
yeah.
to have like the thumbs up from
Congrats,
someone like that, yeah.
That's dope.
And that's been interesting to me is like just sponsorships because I never wanted to have sponsors.
Yeah.
Bishop's been there for me from like day one. Like I'm talking about like 2015, like when I took my first seminar and I was like a no one, like they still cared about like my opinion, things like that. And man, I fought it for forever, bro. Like they were just like, oh, just, like you want a sponsorship? And I'm like, no, I'm good. Like,
Yeah.
like, and they'd always hook me up. And every seminar I've ever done, they've literally like provided gift bags and
That's
everything,
dope,
like
man.
no charge.
Yeah, they take care of the artist for sure.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I was like, why wouldn't I? Like, once the needles came out, because the thing is, I was using a lot of Cheyenne needles. I love Cheyenne needles, but when their new needles came out, Bishop's, I was like, yeah, like that was the missing piece,
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, I'm all about like wanting to be on the team. And then Inkies, that's the only thing I use is like Inkies for like the ointment stuff. You have sponsors now, or you've had sponsors, right? Or
I have Empire.
the inks.
Inks, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Inks. The same way too. I mean, I was always like the sponsor stuff. I don't really care too much about.
Yeah, because you can buy it. Like it's
Yeah,
not
exactly,
expensive,
yeah.
but sometimes it's about like just like appreciating.
The only reason was because of the people that had those sponsorships.
Yeah.
Those artists were very like cocky,
Oh, like back in the day.
Back in the day,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm sponsored by this. I'm sponsored by that. Like the whole list goes on, and then the banners and the conventions.
Yeah,
like,
Cheyenne had their shit.
Sponsor,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
It was like cheesy to me,
Yeah.
But
how do you feel about it now?
Now, I mean, it makes sense because shout out to Empire, shout out to Colt. He's the owner of Empire,
nice.
and it was funny because he met me. I met him like way when he first was starting up his company at Golden State, and he wanted me on like since then.
Yeah.
And this was like maybe in 2019, like 18 or 19.
Yeah.
He saw my work and then it wasn't how it is now.
Of course, yeah.
Obviously, and he ever since then though he was always looking at my stuff and he would always hit me up. Hey man, like I want to sponsor you, like like try this ink out and stuff.
I think what it is, man, because I've had the same thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's they see what you're gonna be. I think they see the potential, or they
Yeah.
see the person. You know what I mean? And I think that's dope because same thing. Like my work was nowhere what it was now, like or then to what it is now when Bishop first started like taking care of me.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I think it's really more about people just want to like you,
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that we're really fortunate in our industry. And I maybe it wasn't when I first got into it, but I think the generation that phased out and the new generation that came in like really changed that. But there's so many dope people in the industry. Like it's really like pretty rad. Like how many cool
Yeah.
people you can meet in this industry, man.
I've met a lot through going back to the sponsorship with Empire. The way he has his sponsorship set up, it's more like a family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like he just had that retreat. I don't know if you follow him or not, but he had like an artist retreat.
Yeah.
He invited out a certain amount of some of the artists that he sponsors, and he threw like a huge retreat for them.
Nice.
You know what I mean? I couldn't make it, but it was a whole week, and it was like a little mini convention. He held like seminars
Oh, that's rad.
and stuff like that over there at his house over there in Wisconsin.
Do you know Brian Ramirez from
Yeah.
He Runs Reservoir?
Mm-hmm.
That dude, I love that dude. That dude's
Yeah.
just chill. But he would do the same thing for his employees, man. He would bring in like artists for seminars. They'd have like, I think, I don't know if it
That's
was
dope, man.
Yeah, I don't know if it was every week or every other week. He would bring in like a live model and an instructor. Like
Yeah.
one of the dudes from where I used to take school was Los Angeles Academy of Figurative Arts. He'd bring in a guy, I forgot his name, it's like Hurtado. But yeah, he would bring in a dude and just let his team like figure draw for the evening and shit. Like, and then like,
That's dope.
he always took care of them. And I saw things like that. And I'm like, man, like, I don't know. Even just getting my haircut here in San Diego at like one of these places called Tailored, and they have like the mini fridge stock. Like they treat their employees like they do like events and stuff. I'm like, that's the type of stuff that inspires me now. Like for where I'm at, you know, like it's like that's what I want to do more of. You know, like what do you think nowadays do you see that like it inspires you and like pumps you up to like make bigger jumps?
What was that again? Say it again.
So like the little things that I see that
Like
that I appreciate, like
stuff like
you know,
that,
going back to like Brian, you know, like I'm at the point where if I get motivated, it's really no longer about my work. Like I'm always motivated about my work. I love what I do, but motivated as far as like next steps and like you know just pushing the boundaries and stuff. I see that type of stuff where people are doing stuff for their employees and they created a family.
Yeah.
When it comes to like the next steps of what you want to do with your career, what is it that you're seeing and you're like, damn, like that's really actually pumping me up for like, or giving you ideas, you know?
Right now it's going back to, I mean, what's it called? The same thing like what you're saying about the seminars and stuff. I actually want to do something like that with at my shop.
Yeah.
On like kind of having like a creative Mondays type thing where we can just sit down, not tattoo, but work on designs.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like just drawing and stuff like that, but working on like actual tattoo designs, like back pieces or sleeves, or stuff like that. And just because you know how sometimes when you want to design something, you take all day on it, or you just go like before your tattoo, you put something together.
Yeah.
But actually, there's a new dude that moved into the same building as me.
Mm-hmm.
He's a tattoo artist.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, and he's a young dude.
Is there a few that you know?
Yeah, there's a new artist that moved in from Sacramento.
Okay.
And he's in the same level as me.
Yeah.
And he's a young dude, I think like 25 or something like that.
Yeah.
But he's all in the TikTok stuff and.
Is he hyped up? Is he
hyped up, bro? Like
okay.
crazy followers, on TikTok.
Is he? He's a tattooer.
Yeah, he's a tattooer. Yeah.
You have to tell me whenever you're able to.
Yeah. But he's like he's young, but he's hungry, man, but not only that, he's very he still comes in. He like we already met, and we go to each other's shops and shit, whatever, and chop it up. But he always comes in and introduces himself to everyone, all the artists, and he tells everyone like, you know, he's just intrigued by everything, like
just excited.
Just excited, man. Yeah. It's weird seeing it, especially at nowadays.
Yeah.
And so that kind of brought me to where I want to do more stuff because he does a lot of stuff like that beforehand. All his like he designs everything like days before, and he's a black and gray realism artist. And I've never heard a black and gray realism artist get his designs ready like a few days before. It's always like the day of.
That's what I do.
That's what I do.
No, not the day of. Yeah.
I do the day of.
No, for like the last, I think, 6 years.
Yeah.
I do it all ahead of time,
mm-hmm.
and then, but I'm not doing compositions. Like that's the thing is like I do portraits. Like I just kind of keep it pretty simple. So like for me, it's like I do go through my clients. Like I have like half an hour consults with the client every time I take a new client on. And so by the time they show up, the stencil's done, everything's ready to go.
Yeah, that's dope.
But for me, that's just because I like to not spend too much time at the shop, unnecessary time. Like I don't want to be there. Like you know how it is. Like back in the day, you'd get lunch at the shop and your clients just staring at you, like eating.
Like a fucking hour break and shit.
Yeah.
No, well, like the dude designs like sleeves and shit like that. You know,
that's a trip.
Days before.
I think that's the other thing that I have so much respect about guys like Vito and these dudes that are still doing compositions. Like even you know, that's doing these gnarly compositions. I don't know what it is. It just for me, it doesn't like it's not like something I want to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing bigger pieces. Like that's one of the things I do want to do is big
Yeah.
pieces. But even then, they're not gonna be like compositions, like what you guys do. They're gonna be like just same thing, just massive portraits,
Yeah.
like back pieces, torsos,
Right, man.
a little more like composed, but not like elaborate.
Yeah.
Like some
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I saw you're doing a torso and there's all kinds of
All
like
kinds of
background and
stuff,
stuff
yeah.
going on. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just like when something's like what you want to do. And when,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And honestly, like it might even just be like maybe even just I'm intimidated by it because it can be kind of a headache doing that type of shit, man.
It can get kind of crazy, yeah. But again, going back, I think working at Full Circle, man, I learned so much. Like I tell everyone, that should turn
That's
on.
good. The B-roll doesn't.
I told everyone. I tell everyone at Full Circle, I learned the most, like and then of course on Instagram, seeing everyone's stuff.
Yeah.
And getting inspired like that, but yeah, just going back to how Bill composed and even like Pete Vaca, how he composed everything, and then just applying it to Black and Gray, and trying to figure out.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Like I'm sure you know it, but if you don't, like I'm sure even just talking about it now, you're acknowledging like how much of an imprint that left on you. Probably, just like
yeah, man, it's fucking crazy.
Changed your work. You know what I mean? Like I imagine, right? Like who you were before you got to Bill's and who you were after. Like there must have been a change in your approach, somewhat, right?
Yeah.
So no, I think that's dope. What do you think? Like let's start to wrap this up with some good stuff. What do you think are like the 3 most valuable lessons that you've gotten out of tattooing, as far as like just in life, man? Like being a tattoo artist from beginning to end. What do you think are the 3 things that you've taken away from it that you'll never forget and that you're gonna just try to pass on to the next generation when you can?
I think when I said, I think the main one is when we work so hard with everything, but also taking the time to relax and also with family, man. I think family is the most important. Like I moved out here. I don't know what's the right like word for it, but just going back to the family thing, because I was so connected to tattooing so much that I think I lost a lot of that time with certain people.
Yeah.
And certain like family members and friends and stuff like that, because I was so on tattooing. So I think giving a little bit of a sacrifice on that end, like balance,
Just have balance in your life outside of work.
Yeah, of course. And family is important, like going back home.
Whatever family is to someone.
Exactly, yeah. Friends or whatever, or for yourself too.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important. The second thing, as far as like tattooing wise,
just the way tattooing's like made you think and like what you've learned from it. You know what I mean?
Oh shit, I don't even.
The funny thing is, like, you live with it every day. You just don't realize it. You never have to stop and think about it. But like, it's affected you in like at least more than 3. But like, what are the 3 that like just come to your head where it's like, damn, like I wouldn't even think this way as if it wasn't for tattooing.
I don't know, man. Shit.
That's a good one.
I don't even know. I mean, I wouldn't. What examples would you give? I mean.
Shit. Okay, we'll flip it on me, huh?
I'm not too good on those things, but
no, honestly, like the first one would be the same thing you said.
Yeah.
And I've never been that tight with my family. Like we're getting tighter now. Like we just weren't that way growing up. I saw how you are with your mom. That's dope. But for me, I remember because I have my dog. I love my dog. My dog is my world. Like I have 2 dogs, but my boy I had before my girl, and I'll always remember I had him in like at 6 months old. I got him as a puppy, right? And that's when I used to work in a walk-in shop, and I was working my ass off, like 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week, open to close. And I'll always remember one day, I don't remember what it was, if I was taking him to the vet or whatever, but I had to like calculate like how old he was, right? And I had got him at 6 months. And I'm like doing the math, and I want to say he was like 5 or 6 years old. And I'm like, I was like, damn, 5 or 6? I was like, I feel like I just got him. And then but then it hit me, I was like, that's 5 or 6 years I don't get back. Of like, hanging with my dog. And then it hit me in other ways, like that's 5 or 6 years of my life I don't get back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. For me, it's like prioritizing time for yourself in a way that you aren't just working to work.
Exactly.
You work towards something, but don't just work to work.
Exactly.
Okay, I think another thing would be I started my success like in life from proving people wrong. Like I think almost the vast majority of my success came from proving people wrong, and it fucked me because I was doing everything and I was getting the success, but it wasn't for me.
Yeah, impressing the wrong people.
It was just out of spite.
Okay.
Sometimes like someone just told me I couldn't do something, I'd be like, I'll fucking do it. You know what I mean?
That's how I got into realism, man.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to do lettering only.
Yeah.
And only that.
Yeah.
But everyone's like, oh yeah, you're Angel. You just do lettering. Who does the portraits here, or who does this over here? What the heck? I could do that too.
Yeah, and that might even be the way I got into realism too. Was like that challenge,
Yep.
But at some point, it was like I had everything, dude. I mean, like had everything that when I first started, I wanted. Right, I had everything, like and I took a step back, and I was like, why the fuck am I not happy? And I realized like I have accomplished everything for someone else. Like not like for them, but like out of spite or to prove someone wrong.
For the wrong reasons. It wasn't for yourself.
Exactly.
Like your true self.
Yeah, it wasn't ever for me. So that was something that hit me, and then I started living life with more purpose in the sense of that I was doing it for only me. And the crazy thing is I hit a new level past that I didn't even think I can hit. Like I thought it was just like, oh, I was wrong by hitting it, by doing it for someone else. And then I was like, and then I'm doing it for myself. It must be right. At some point, man, I hit this new thing, like even with this building, right, with this shop that I love this shop, man. And I got it in the middle of fucking the height of COVID. And I lost almost everything, dude. And my landlord, dude, I called her like 3 weeks late with rent. And I was like, I called her 3 weeks late because I was hoping I'd get it so I wouldn't have to be like, I don't have rent. It'd be like, I'd call her and be like, I'm sorry I'm late, but here's rent, like, but I didn't have it because it was in the height and I had rent that was, it was almost 4 G's between me and my girl, like my ex, that was our rent for the apartment. And then plus whatever I got here. And man, like it was so defeating calling her and being like, I don't have rent and I don't know when I'll be able to continually make it on time. And like I'm stressed, bro. I'm like stressed and I'm talking to her. Like my voice is even cracking, because it's like this person gave me this place with. I had nothing. I didn't have any tax paperwork. I didn't have like my like credit like in line. Like I had nothing, and she took a chance on me. So I'm like I felt like a failure. And then she was like, she interrupted me like midway while I'm like, no, I gotta figure this out. Like, she's like, hey, she's like, take a deep breath. She's like,
relax.
She's like, relax. She's like, there's a lot of things that are stressing you out. Know that this isn't one of them that has to be stressing you out. And that's when it hit me. It was like, I spent so much time doing things for other people to prove them wrong. And then I spent time doing it for myself because I was like, yeah, like that's, I think that's important is you do it for the right reasons for yourself. But at a certain point, I hit another stage where it's like, I'm going to do this to prove everyone right that believed in me. So instead of like proving people wrong, it was like, now I'm doing this shit to prove people right. The few people that were there that like gave me a chance, like I never forget those people. So for me, it's like, I guess that's my second message is like, do things for the right reason, but never forget the people that got you where you are. Like you don't have to like dwell on it. You don't have to like constantly like blow smoke up their ass, but like just don't forget it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
of course.
And the people that took a chance on you, just work to prove them right that you are worth taking a chance on, because that's going to be someone that will take another chance on another person that needs help if you show them that they were right to. So I think that'd be the second one for me. And the last one for me would just be like, stop caring what other people care about you. And that sounds like really generic, but for me, man, I struggled with that.
Yeah.
I was always paranoid of like. I
still do, man.
Yeah. I was always paranoid, dude. I was like paranoid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, be a good person. Don't be an asshole. Like, it's always the salty, arrogant motherfuckers that are like, I'm just being real. It's like, no, you're just being an asshole.
Yeah,
like,
there's a difference.
But I just stopped caring about how people perceive me, because I feel like those people that might perceive me in a negative light also see themselves in a negative light. The people that like, if I've ever posted like a shirtless photo because I lost a lot of weight and I got in shape and I was proud and I posted it, the real ones are the ones that comment on it. And I see the dudes that comment on it, and instead of being like, I'll put a shirt on, like joking, like it's the dudes that are like, fuck yeah, dude, like, yeah, get it, brother. Like, and it's the dudes that I know went through the same shit.
Yeah. Like
work their ass off to get in shape, or work their ass off to like get good at something. Those are the people that when you post that type of stuff, that they got your back. Anyone that's salty, man, they're usually salty because they're dealing with their own shit, so it's like, and I'm not even mad at it. Like, you can't. I'm not mad at it. I've been salty. So I guess those would be my three, man. The last one would just be like care less, I guess, about what people think about you.
Careless.
Yeah, care less. Do things for you, but care less of how you think other people see you.
Yeah, man, that makes sense.
Yeah, you got two more, bro.
Two more. I think the second one would probably be just taking I think just stay like learning with like with not just tattooing but also learning like the business part of stuff like that, and
Yeah.
and I think that's important
That's a good one.
because I've struggled with that. I mean, growing up, we don't.
No.
I don't know none of
Yeah,
that stuff,
Rasa doesn't
man.
know that shit,
I don't know
dude.
that
Yeah.
stuff, man. Even to this day, I mean, even with, I mean, I never did too good in school and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
my vocabulary isn't
I'm a
vocabulary
dropout,
isn't
bro.
like crazy, you know.
I didn't
And,
get to
and
12th grade. I dropped out at
but
11.
but but being around the right people
Yeah.
and traveling and stuff like that I've learned like how to run a business or how to run with anything, you know.
Yeah.
And just try focusing on that too, because we can't just tattoo our whole lives either, you know.
No, and it's scary that people think that you can.
It's scary, man. Like especially nowadays, it's so saturated with artists and good artists.
Yeah.
Like what do we do? You know what's next? You know.
Yeah.
So always learning and seeing what's next.
Staying
and
ahead.
Staying
like,
ahead of
yeah,
things too.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Even with the like how you were saying with the whole taxes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Getting all that shit all that shit up to date, all that too. You know all that.
Bro, it was terrifying. I was behind and
Yeah,
I got back, but man, like it's crazy. Like when you realize they don't care, they just want their money. Like
Yeah.
no one's coming after you. Like just get your shit done and like yeah, like but
I'm telling you, bro. Going back to full circle, I would always go back. I always go back to it because right there I learned so much. Like
Yeah.
I always keep saying it, but
yeah, no, it's
because
important.
Bill's head was like legit, you know,
Yeah.
like do this, do that, do this, do that,
Yeah.
and get your freaking what's that shit like retirement stuff and
Yeah.
savings and shit like that. You know, I mean we don't think about that stuff.
No. And like I hate to put it on it, but it kind of is the culture.
Yeah.
Like when I was growing up, it was like, you know, growing up Hispanic, when I was growing up, I don't know what it's like now, but when I was growing up, it's like, get a good job, work hard, keep your head down. Maybe you'll make manager. Maybe you'll get a job with benefits. And that was kind of our cap. Like
Yeah.
for most people, like what they would thought was possible being Hispanic growing up. When I grew up, you know, it was like just getting a good job and like, you know, getting a manager position was like, that's where we capped out at. And so I struggle a lot with the business side because I just never thought I could be there. So my mind doesn't
Yeah.
work that way. And I'm learning to reprogram that.
Yeah, man. I've learned here and there through like talking to different business owners and you know reading like books and stuff like that, and like just figuring stuff out on the business part of it.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, being the culture and then plus tattooing as well.
Yeah.
That's two. Well, first the industry is like first starting like that. You're just getting cash and
Yeah.
you know under the table type stuff, no taxes, stuff like that. But now it's important for sure, I
Yeah.
think, you know?
And I'm sure it happened like you to me, or I'm sure it happened to you the same way it did to me in the sense that you just didn't expect it to go so well so fast.
And then now we're, well, not now, but we were working to, like, just work.
Yeah.
But we were working as our own, but it was still like if you were working for someone or if you were still just working.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get you.
Like if you were working a regular 9 to 5.
You didn't,
know?
even though you were a private contractor, you
Yeah.
didn't feel like your own business.
It didn't.
You were
know,
just
it
like,
didn't. And that's because I didn't know
yeah,
what had to be done to make it a legit
yeah,
self contract or whatever, you know.
yeah. All right, you got one more, man.
One more shit.
Life lesson that you've learned from tattooing.
Life lesson. I mean, maybe traveling, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, because I've learned a lot through that. I mean, I've traveled a lot, and I didn't think I would be able to travel to the places I did.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for tattooing, you know.
Where have you gone?
Well, London, Paris, Germany. What else?
Have you done the Hawaii?
Spain.
Did you ever do the Hawaii
I did
convention?
Hawaii, no.
Okay.
Spain, a few spots in Mexico, like deep Mexico.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty well traveled. It's really like 6 different countries.
And then plus in domestic, you know.
Yeah, international. I don't think we give enough credit to how big our country is, man. Like you
It's
can,
just crazy.
yeah, like being on New York and here, like it's like the same country, but it's anywhere else in the world, it'd be like 8 countries away from each other and shit. Like so, it's like
Yeah, man.
I think
Traveling it's
yeah,
important. I think.
just traveling.
Yeah. Guest spotting,
Yeah,
doing stuff like that, conventions.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I think that's important. And anything in traveling.
yeah. I can agree with that. I haven't done enough of that, but I really want to travel in this country first.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing is like what I've seen, seeing so many people travel here and like experience our country is how much we take it for granted because it's just like people are coming from all over the world to see what we have here.
Dude, it's
And
crazy.
when we're looking around being like, oh, this is lame, let me leave the country. And it's like,
Hell no, man. You know what's crazy is going to Mexico. Every time I go down to Mexico, I went to Oaxaca,
yeah.
and damn, bro, like we're American, man. Like
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I hate when I don't like to put it out there like that, but the ones that are like Mexico this, Mexico that. Don't get me wrong,
That's our culture.
that's our culture.
Yeah.
Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but we're American, like.
No, 100%.
Because
Yeah.
I was down there like I don't want to freaking McDonald's, man.
Yeah.
I just want to live that life. It's different, dude. It's
It,
way different out there,
it's for sure different.
and it puts things into perspective. Like and you start to appreciate, like you said,
Always, yeah.
where you're from. From here,
Yeah, that's the thing is like, I mean, like I hate to even talk about anything like slightly political, but it's like
Yeah.
people talk about how bad the country is and this and that and how oppressed they are. And I'm not saying that we can't do better things and we can't change, but man, like I remember the day that my mom naturalized was like one of her proudest moments in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like I know how many uncles like worked hard to try to get over here and like never did. Um, it's just like people think they got it bad, and it could always be better, but literally a border away. Like, I mean, you're from El Paso, man, so you know the other
Yeah.
side of that border is gnarly. I'm from Mexicali. My family's from Mexicali.
Yeah.
Um, and it's had its moments, like TJ's pretty gnarly right now, but
Yeah.
was it Juarez on the other side?
Yeah,
of
Juarez,
Juarez has got some
Border City.
some
Yeah,
hard
border.
times over there, man, and
Yeah. Same thing. Family from over there, from Juarez and stuff.
yeah.
Um.
But it's definitely made me appreciate it. But it also made me feel when I was younger like I was never on either side. It was
Yeah.
like you're just kind of like in the middle. Like you go to Mexico and all your cousins talk shit to you. Like
Yeah, dude.
yeah,
We go down to Mexico and right away like this dude's American.
Yeah.
Even though we look kind of Mexican, but
yeah,
they literally point out and they be like, I'm American. You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
It's
That shit's
it's a
funny.
trip, man.
No, I think it's made me work in both ways. Like it really made me appreciate what we have out here, as far as like opportunity, like
Yeah.
I don't think people remember what the American dream was. Like people think the American dream is like buying a house and have all this stuff. And that's how people that have been here all their life are, like I think perceive it a little bit more. But when I was growing up, like the American dream was like the land of opportunity. It's like coming here with nothing. I'm a high school dropout, man. Like I'm a high school dropout. I was not smart at all, like in high school. I never thought I could do shit with myself. Like my uncles are not like the best role models, and I have a fucking business out of like drawing pictures and shit on people's skin. Like that's the American dream to me, man. And it's like I'll never not appreciate that, but just the same, I appreciate where I came from. I appreciate like my grandparents and what the
Oh, yeah,
struggles
man,
they
for
had.
sure.
Yeah,
That's what actually pushed me pretty hard to be where I'm at too. Is one of my uncle, he's not here with us, but he used to tattoo,
hmm
and he
Oh shit.
yeah,
Okay.
well yeah, and then he got killed in Juarez,
Okay.
but and then from there I was just like, damn, like I really want to do this now because that was the same year that I was starting to tattoo,
Yeah.
with the year that he got killed, and I was like, I made it a thing too. It's like I have to like do something in honor of
Yeah.
of my uncle.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. I was talking to my mom about that. Like, she's like, "Oh, it's not that bad." I'm like, "It's not that bad because you're used to it being bad." But it's like the decisions that I hear like people making that are from this side that go across the
Yeah.
TJM. Like, you guys don't know that line that you ride, like
Yeah.
that safety line that you ride. That, and the people that are from there, they know the line and they stay on the other side of it, so that it's safe. But it's just like it's one of those things where it's like I'd like to travel more to like deep Mexico.
Yeah.
Because all the Mexico that I know is Baja, and
Okay.
a lot of it's been in the times where it hasn't been like the safest to be. You know what I mean? Or like in my family, we didn't have the best role models, like
Yeah.
alcohol and stuff. So it was like, it was not anything that would inspire me. Like I know if I took some deep down south trips, like probably would do more of. But I appreciate it. I appreciate Baja. I'm not trying to knock it. I'm just saying like, I'd like to get a little bit more of a deeper taste of Mex, like
Yeah.
that I haven't experienced.
Go to
So.
Oaxaca, man.
Oaxaca, yeah,
It was a culture shock, man. It was crazy.
yeah.
They still like speak in like their native,
Native
like,
tongues,
yeah,
or
dude,
not native tongues, but yeah, like
in their native language,
yeah.
and but it's funny, being American, we go out there and then they talk amongst each other, like, trying to
Yeah.
get the price right for something we're trying to buy,
Yeah.
and they talk in their own language.
Well, not even in Spanish.
No, not
right?
even in Spanish. No.
Damn. All right.
It was weird, man, but it was a cool experience.
Yeah. No, I'll probably do that soon. So we'll see how it goes. Dope, man. Is there anything else you want to say before we close this out? Any shout outs or anyone you think I should? Do you think is there anyone that you think I should try to ask to be on here? Like anyone that you think would be kind of cool?
As far as artists and stuff like that.
Of any medium.
Well, first, thanks again for having me on here.
No, thanks for doing it, man.
And I was super nervous, and
it's chill though, right?
Yeah, it's chill. Once I get the hang of it and stuff like that. But yeah, again, appreciate it, and you were always an artist as well that that I looked up to and stuff like that.
Oh, right,
and
man.
when you came out here too, because we always seen the portraits and the animal stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when you came down and actually moved to San Diego, I was like, oh shit, that's right. These movies.
Dope,
and then to even, I don't know if you guys, we didn't mention it, but you were in the studio that.
Yeah, that's right.
We're in the studio that I used to work in.
Yeah.
With Full Circle.
Yeah. You know what's funny though, right? Because we talked about that. Like, so whoever's still listening right now, the shop that I own is his old shop that he used to work at. So I didn't know it at the time that I got it, but this shop is it was a speakeasy for Full Circle Tattoo in San Diego, that's owned by Bill Canales, the gentleman we've mentioned a couple times. But the crazier thing is, before I got this shop, the shop that he works at now, I actually did a walkthrough and was gonna get that spot. I still have like a video on my phone of like checking it out, the exact unit and everything. And I was gonna get that spot that he's in now. So
that's just crazy, man.
Yeah, it's funny how that worked out. But yeah, no. Is there any artists that you think?
Probably for sure Bill Canales. Maybe Fibs.
I haven't met that dude, but I know a couple people that know him. Charlie is a skydiver that I know too. Charlie, I forgot what his shop.
Fibs is super. He's very like me and him are working on a collab.
Oh no shit.
Right now, and I've been learning so much. But he'd be a good one. Locally.
Yeah.
Maybe Alexi Ramos. He does lettering.
Okay.
I don't know if he'd ever do it because he's very like shy and stuff and very like.
Well, maybe I can get Fibs on. If you put a good word for me, and once I get this dialed in a little bit more, I'll reach out and see if he wants to do it.
There's a bunch of artists out here that are amazing,
Yeah, I need to get out more out here. I need to like get into.
Especially like shout out to all the dudes from the Nitties, the old Nitties.
Yeah.
Which are now like in Tribal or in Gold Rose.
Yeah.
A lot of those artists, like
nice.
Richie and them and Isaac. George.
Yeah, I'll have to get some of those names from you because
those are the OG. Those are like the black and gray dudes that I looked up to, and also like we kind of all started working like, how do you say, like at the same time, or like started to
generation kind of.
Yeah, it's like our generation, and we kind of all kind of went at it at the same time. Yeah, progressed at the same time.
Got it.
But yeah, all those dudes.
Rad. Well, fuck, man. Thanks for doing this. I really freaking appreciate it. I hope it comes out good. I hope it's usable. If not, we had a good talk at the very least. Yeah, sure. If it all goes to part shit, 2 or something. Yeah, exactly. No,
man, appreciate it.
Thanks again for doing it, man. If anyone's still listening, I appreciate you guys for staying tuned. And yeah, I'll have some more coming soon. You guys have a great night, and thanks a lot. Thanks again, Angel.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right, brother.